Hello and welcome to Hanovi Global Network. I am your host, John Hanovi. For many of us, it is sometimes very difficult when we are blindsided by something unexpected like a tornado or a car accident or something that, just comes upon us very suddenly. And it's very difficult. We find ourselves scrambling to respond or to react and find a solution to the problem. However, that is not the case with escalating crime in New York City. All of this was and is predictable. If an alien landed from outer space in 2020 and landed in New York City, that alien would have said, look, you guys are going down the wrong path. The sabotage of burning down buildings, reckless protesting, may lead to short-term goals of winning an election, but that alien would have told us, look, this is not going to end well in the long term. And that alien would have been right, as we can see what is happening right now. I was hoping that I was going to be wrong, but I knew I was spot on and was going to be right. And that is why when I told my friends and many that I knew, I said, look, New York City is heading in the wrong directions. And it wasn't because I was some genius or it was so miraculous or I had some amazing insight or crystal ball. No, it is because I have seen this before. We have had this experience in New York City. That is why it wasn't that difficult to predict what was going to happen. It was also very easy for me to predict that bringing the National Guard and state troopers into the subway system was not going to make a difference. And it was not the way to go. Again, it's not because I have some crystal ball, but it's because I have a little bit of insight and have seen this before. I have seen what has worked under Mayor Giuliani, how he used the New York Police Department to change and turn things around. So the question is, why not use a model that has already worked? And I do know why. Because you would not be able to score political mileage giving credit to someone who is a Republican and who has shown that he or she has been effective in the past. So Governor Hochul's attempt, in some respects, to dishonor his honor Mayor Adams and to score political mileage by calling the National Guard has, in fact, backfired. Now, I want you to take a look at this horrible incident that happened on a subway train, and you decide for yourself. I must warn you that some of this is very upsetting.
Now to the subway shooting. Passengers were frightened. A man shot with his own gun. Ariel Reshef joins us live outside the New York City subway where it all happened and happened during rush hour. Ariel, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Janae. That happened during rush hour. And just to set the scene, that packed subway car full of passengers, when a fight broke out, it escalated into gunfire, causing chaos and panic, and much of that was caught on camera.
This morning, harrowing cell phone video capturing rush hour mayhem as gunfire rang out in the New York City subway. Terrified passengers ducking for cover Thursday evening, huddled together, screaming in horror in this crowded downtown Brooklyn station.
Close the door! Close the door!
As I'm coming out, you hear pops, like 3 or 4 shots, pop, pop, pop. Then the doors open, everybody come flying out.
Police say chaos erupted around 5 p.m. after a fight on a train car. Passengers seen here trying to break up the situation, but the altercation only escalating.
He then took that firearm, started walking toward the 32-year-old who was on the train, yelling at him, walking toward him in a menacing way.
The 32-year-old man grabbing the weapon, shooting his attacker in the head.
Shots fired in transit, active shooter, 10-10 shots fired in transit.
This video showing the wounded man taken away on a stretcher, rushed to a nearby hospital in critical condition.
And within seconds, officers flooding into the station, arresting a suspect. But this terrifying incident happening just days after Governor Kathy Hochul sent the National Guard into the subway system to patrol here amid a 13% increase in subway crime so far this year.
Ultimately, this is what happens when you sabotage law enforcement, use dog whistle tactics to rile up your base, and ultimately win an election, in turn creating chaos in the city, not knowing how to fix it, jeopardizing hard-working average New Yorkers, and in turn creating a whole lot of mess. Again, you would see a lot of overcompensation coming close to the election to make political statements and give you a sense that they are going to reclaim some sort of sense of security in the city. But none of this is going to work or pan out very well. The situation has already gone too far and gotten out of control.